this male student, not long after he transferred schools because he saw something he shouldn't have seen. He ran away from school in panic. He even threatened to call the police, but before the male student could escape, was immediately hit by a car, causing him to be seriously injured. His student card also fell out. Sometime later, there are new students who moved to school, replacing the position of the boy who was hit by the car, which was also the day Jushin's school opened a new school year. Kang Ha went to Jushin's school on a scholarship, sponsored by Jushin Group. He was despised by his friends, because this was a school for rich children, and Kang Ha was a poor guy, but he still didn't know, and happily asked everyone for help. Suddenly a male student appeared. He was Rion, heir to the Jushin conglomerate, and also the grandson of the school's founder. Kanha mic was turned off, waiting for Rion to sit down before he could continue speaking. After Kanha read his speech, he returned to his seat. The principal finished the opening session, asked the students to stand up and leave one by one. Kanha was dumbfounded and did not understand the meaning of the sentence, intending to get up and leave first, but the other students still sat in place, waited after Rion got up and left. They dared to leave their seats. Kanha started a conversation with the male student and asked why, but he disdainfully did not bother to continue talking. Seeing that a female student walked up to tease Kanha and said, introduced her as Hee-ra, wanted to ask Kanha phone number. Only then will someone warmly welcome him. Kanha happily dialed Hee-ra's number and asked for the location of the English classroom. Kanha then followed Hee-ra's instructions to class, but the teacher chased. Kang went to another class. This was a special English class, only for aristocratic students. Kanha went to a class for ordinary students. Friends show alienation, slander. Kangha is a lowly type, didn't let him sit in the front seats. Kanha had to choose the back seat in the class. Even the desk was a shabby one. On the other side, a group of tycoon friends are having a stylish lunch in a reserved room in the school. This is the group of students with the highest rank, including 4 members, Rion, Hee-ra, Woo Jin, and Jae. But today Jae is not present because she has not returned from going abroad. Suddenly Woo Jin received the phone call to go first. Hee-ra took the opportunity to seduce Rion. While he and Jae were dating, Hee-ra wanted to ask Rion to go to the airport to pick up Jae, but he didn't agree. Hee-ra had to go alone. At the airport, a beautiful and noble girl appeared. Hee-ra welcomed Jae back. In the car, Hee-ra wondered why Jae went abroad for 3 months without contact to everyone. Jae was tired and didn't want to answer. Asked Hee-ra to meet friends at the racetrack this weekend. She had something important to announce. Hee-ra felt confused but still agreed. Hee-ra texted into the group of tycoon friends, helping Jae meet Woo Jin and Rion. Both were extremely confused. As soon as Jae returned home, her family held a welcoming party, inviting the entire senator's family to attend. Kanha was the one playing the piano at the party, his eyes always focused on Jae. She wasn't very excited about the party, so she ate quickly and left first. President Yoon Jae's biological father chased after and asked, "Are you unhappy with anything?" Jae pretended to be tired, asked for permission to go to the room to rest, but her biological father wanted her to come to the second floor to have tea with everyone. "Let's go change clothes first." Father doesn't want to see Jae dressed like her mother. "Which mother did you want to mention?" Biological father immediately got angry. Actually, Jae's current mother is just stepmother. Father not wanting to remember Jae's biological mother, she bowed her head and apologized to her father, agreeing to follow his request. By the way, her father also wanted Jae to wear a different lipstick color. "Don't imitate your trash biological mother. Jae must live up to the title of daughter of the head of Jaeul Group." After speaking, he turned and left. Only then did Jae show her resentful attitude. She took off her outer dress, then escaped to the gate to smoke the pod. Coincidentally, Kang-ha was also present. Seeing Jae's charm, he immediately blushing. Jae started talking to Kang-ha, offered to borrow a shirt. Seeing that it was a bit cold, he gallantly agreed. Jae took the shirt and immediately left. Now, Kang-ha felt the cold. Then Jae went to the meeting place with a group of tycoon friends. Hee-ra and Woo Jin were a bit surprised because of Jae's strange way of dressing. Ryan appeared and looked at Jae passionately. Hee-ra and Woo Jin didn't dare to speak up. Jae opened mouth first and wanted to race with Rian. Whoever wins will be able to ask the other person to make a wish. Rian wants to know what Jae's wish is. "Just racing, then you'll know." The two started the race. Hee-ra and Woo Jin eagerly waited for the results. 2 luxury racing cars rushed on the road. Rian was always in the lead, at the same time preventing Jae from surpassing. But seeing that Jae wanted to win regardless of her life, Rian pretended to lose control and rushed off the track. Jae took the opportunity to overtake. She was the first to finish. Rian only came later. He asked about Jae, but she didn't care, directly said her wish, "Let's break up." Rian stood still for 5 seconds. 2 friends took the initiative to leave. Let Rian and Jae stay to confide. Rian wanted to know the reason for the breakup. Jae asked him in return, "What is the reason you like me?" Rian doesn't have a reason, so there's no need for a reason to break up. Only knew that Rian had lost to Jae, so he had to fulfill her wish. From now on they will be friends. Jae turned around and left. Rian stayed to remember the beautiful memories when he was in love, not knowing what he did wrong. The next day Rian went to class. Classmates found out that his hand was injured. They talked loudly. Don't know what happened to the tyrant of Jushin's school. Jae saw that Rian was injured and was a little worried. Kangha thought Jae was watching, so he waved hello. The teacher announced to the students that today they will be holding applications for gifted classes. Kangha didn't understand, so he asked his classmates, but no one was willing to answer him. The teacher took the class monitor to a private room, asked him to pay attention to the transfer students. Don't let something like last time happen. The monitor was scared and could only agree. What secrets does this school have? On the other side, Rian came to the rugby field, but he was not in the mood to play football. Sitting on the bench wondering to his friends, why did Jae say goodbye? The two of them had a very good relationship. He didn't do anything wrong. Girls are hard to understand like that. Sometimes it doesn't matter why. Rian just needs to say sorry to Jae. She may be willing to forgive. Hira is a girl and sees Rian like that, so she tried to help Rian arrange a date with Jae. Suddenly Kangha came, was about to climb up to the row of seats above to sit. Immediately a group of friends appeared and pulled him away. Kangha was taken into a closed room by the group of friends, remind him to know his position. In this chul, Kangha was not allowed to go first, nor was allowed to sit on top. Especially don't anger the rich kids. They are special students at Jushin's school. Due to their family's contributions to the school, rich students and scholarship students, distinguished by tie color, red represents rich students, blue represents scholarship students, because they are from the same low class. The group of friends advises Kangha to avoid trouble. Kangha was still fearless and showed an extremely confident expression. Classmate told him one more thing. The number of students receiving scholarships this term should have been enough. Kangha was not on the list, but there was a student who was as stubborn as Kangha and was punished by Rian. Kangha has just been replaced. Kangha thought his classmates were just joking around, ignoring the reminders. He even bravely ran out to the field to shake hands with Rian. Everyone looked at Kangha with puzzled eyes. Hira found it extremely interesting. Rian left uncomfortably. Friends immediately ran over, not knowing whether Kangha was doing it on purpose or being stupid. Hira said it was okay, and even invited Kangha to attend the welcome party. Tonight Hira will send someone to pick him up. Kangha doesn't understand anything and agrees. Hira happily leaves. In the evening, Hira prepares a party. The purpose is for Rian to apologize to Jae. Hira texts invited Jae, and at the same time, sent a car to pick up Kangha. Not knowing what trick she wanted to play, Kangha was taken to Hira's villa. He had to leave the phone at the security guard. After the party would be returned, Kangha leisurely walked inside, only to discover that this was a party full of girls drinking and smoking, not something Kangha was interested in. Hira saw Kangha. Our protagonist has arrived. The group of friends welcomed Kangha with a drinking game. Among the 6 cups of alcohol, there will be a cup containing extremely strong stimulants. In fact, Hira put drugs in all 5 cups. Only 1 cup contained normal alcohol. Hira volunteered to choose first because she knew where a normal cup of wine was. Kangha didn't know how to drink and asked to give up, but his friends forced him to participate. Couldn't waste Hira's preparation efforts, so Kangha had to pick a cup at random. After drinking it, he immediately became drugged and couldn't walk unsteadily. The friends watching the game laughed and joked. Kangha had to go to the bathroom to wash face. Realizing himself turned into a pastime, Kangha was extremely angry. Then he returned to the party, with his friends playing a dare game. The girl who was spin received the question, "When was the last time you had sex?" "Probably this morning." The whole group, oh surprised. Kangha was not paying attention, busy looking at Jae alone. Suddenly Jae received a text message, sent her a video, reminding her of October 27th last year. Jae didn't even have time calm down. She received a text message from Rian, asking her to go to a private room to talk. In the room, Rian apologized to Jae. Even though he didn't know what mistake he had made, Jae did not accept the apology. Rian knew the reason, but Jae swore to keep it a secret until she went to hell. Rian was extremely angry. Outside, the group of friends played a dare game with Kangha, knowing that he was on drugs. His classmates asked Kangha who he wanted to sleep with at the party. Kangha decided to choose the dare. "So you can kiss any girl here." Kangha looked at the beautiful and attractive girls, but he did not choose. He stand up. Everyone immediately followed Kangha. He entered the room of Rian and Hira, looking at Rian with cold eyes. It turned out that Kangha's purpose in going to Jushin school was to take revenge. Indeed, Rian had sent someone to hell, like what his friends told Kangha before, but that person was Kangha's brother. He promised his late brother that he would expose the truth. Back in reality, Kangha chose to kiss Jae. She also responded to Kangha, making Rian extremely angry. Everyone watching immediately froze. Hira was extremely excited. The next morning, the party was over, but there was a couple that hadn't broken up yet, wrapped around each other on the bed, in the dilapidated warehouse. Woo Jin and the teacher had just had a passionate night, unable to bear to leave each other, but one person had to go to school. The other had to teach, had to say goodbye here. On the other other side, Rian still remembered what happened last night. Although he had punished Kang Ha, his anger still could not calm down. At this moment, his mother. When Rian returned from abroad, the first sentence was not to care about her son, but to remind Rian to prepare to go abroad to study, while he still had 1 year left to finish high school. Even how old her son is, she don't remember. She thought that by hiring a bunch of servants to take care of Rian, he would have a full life, but what Rian lacked was his mother's love. He left angrily. She also ignored an only interest in work. The pressure of rich children is having to choose which car to go to school. Today Rian chose a racing car to go to school. In front of the school gate, Kang Ha recognized a close friend from his old school. This guy pretended not to know Kang Ha, quickly avoided him, and went with other friends. Kang Ha was teased by his classmates, but he ignored those words, only feeling disappointed because of being shunned by close friends. In class, everyone heard the news that Kang Ha still dared to go to school today. They started to worry about him. The female student asked Hira what the relationship between Kang Ha and Jae was, that he dared to kiss she in front of Rian. Another female student said that, at that time, Kang Ha was high on drugs, so he was not afraid. Hira said to help Kang Ha. Maybe he wanted to bravely pursue his goal, although he knew that he was not in the same class as Jae, that such a person deserved to be cheered, but Kang Ha had provoked the wrong person. At this moment, Kang Ha and Rian appeared from both sides, come and face to face. The reason Kang Ha kissed Jae was because he was told by a female student that Jae was Rian's trigger. Just touching her would cause Rian to have an animalistic outburst, causing Kang Ha's brother to die because he dared to be close to Jae. Returning to reality, Rian saw that Kang Ha did not get out of the way. He had to lead his friends go around. Kang Ha turned back to look at Rian with cold eyes, then also left position. Then Rian came to find Jae, thinking that she was using Kang Ha as cannon fodder to end the relationship with him. Rian still wanted to know the real reason for the breakup, but Jae refused to say, so Rian will find out. Handle all the obstacles that stand in his way. After saying that, Rian turned around and left. Going outside, he asked his friend to deal with Kang Ha. Rian wanted Kang Ha to know, don't touch things that don't belong to him. Then the friend called the group of students on the scholarship to class, asking them not to come into contact with Kang Ha, and planning to deal with him. Kang Ha was still sitting in the classroom, laughing. You guys are telling me this on purpose. The president of the scholarship student group grabbed Kang Ha. He easily twisted this guy's arm. Warmly, Kang Ha put on a gentle face, but not easy to bully. Suddenly Jae walked over. Kang Ha was busy looking at her, was bitten by the president once. The teacher saw and chased the president out, then asked the students to sit down and listen to the announcement. Jushin School will soon hold a healing forest event, asking all students to register to participate. Anyone who doesn't go must give 1 hour notice. Kang Ha didn't care. At the end of class, Kang Ha followed Jae. He had something to say, but was shy because of Hira's presence. Jae suggested that he just say it. Kang Ha wanted to apologize for last night. Jae, without any calculation, thinking simply that friends were having fun at the party, she advised Kang Ha not to think too much, considering Jae repaying Kang Ha for lending shirt last time. But there was something Jae wanted to remind Kang Ha. He should quit school. That was the only way to help Kang Ha escape from Rian. After saying that, Jae turned around and left. Hira then wondered to Kang Ha, why did he choose Jae among the countless girls at the party? Because she was the most beautiful. Kang Ha happily left. Hira did not believe that Kang Ha's words were true. There was no reason for Kang Ha to accept to bet his life, just in exchange for a kiss. In the evening, Hira went to the hotel to look for Rian. She accidentally discovered Jae standing in front of the door but didn't go in. Hira was about to tell this story to Rian, but saw him watching a commemorative video with Jae. The two of them were very happy. Hira showed Rian how to resume his old love. He should date another girl. A girl, when she sees the boy who was once faithful to her, suddenly love another girl. She couldn't bear the loss in her heart, but found a way to get back with the boy. Instead of wasting time trying to understand another girl, Rian wanted to ask Hira to find out the secret Jae is hiding. Hira is Jae's best friend, will definitely get useful information. Hira pretends not to want to betray Jae, but still accepted Rian's suggestion. Another party. Jae was drinking with Woo Jin. He also wanted to know Jae's secret. Just when the phone rang, Jae knew Woo Jin also had a secret. Suddenly Jae received a message. A mysterious person in the dark sent an anonymous letter threatening Jae. This guy would send Jae's scandalous video to her father 1 year ago. Jae also fell into the same situation. She was extremely scared because President Yoon is a person who values reputation more hesitant than family. Even Jae's biological mother, also handled by him. Jae even tried to commit suicide before being discovered by her father. At that time she was afraid it would be even more tragic. Her friend hugged Jae, encouraged, "We will solve it together." But she discovered that her friend had a hidden camera in her pocket. Just when Rian and Woo Jin rushed in, they pulled her friend out, turned back. Ality, the mysterious person, wanted to meet Jae. She stood up to say goodbye to Woo Jin and left first. The next day, Jae followed her father and younger brother into the forest to hunt. Chairman Yoon instructed instructed his daughter on how to hunt. Suddenly the secretary ran to tell him there was a phone call. After answering the call, he turned back to look at Jae. He said something was leaked to my daughter. Jae immediately turned pale. President Yoon directly pointed the gun at Jae. Dad told her not to follow in her mother's footsteps. Jae could only close her eyes and wait for death, but it turned out it was all just her imagination. President Yoon said the company had important business. He had to go back to handle it, apologized to his 2 children for ruining the hunting trip. Jae felt less burdened in her heart. She texted to meet at Hira's house. In her mind, Hira thought about what was going on. Right now, Kangha was in the locker room. Suddenly, Rian appeared, making all the students run away. Only Kangha dared to stay. He saw a male student, gave a white pill package to Rian. Kangha knew this was a drug, because before his brother passed away, he told Kangha the terrible truth. He was tricked by the rich children into drinking alcohol containing drugs. During the welcoming party for transfer students, Kangha didn't believe it at first, because he thought that students wouldn't dare do that. But when he experienced it himself, he regretted not believing his brother. Rian was the mastermind of the violence, created a hierarchy in the school, and even possessed drugs, because at Jushin school, he was the rule. Kangha declared to Rian that he would personally remove the hidden rule. Rian challenged. He waited to see what Kangha would do. On the way back, Kangha clutched his late brother's bracelet. He'd definitely take revenge. On the other side, a group of scholarship students were discussing and trying to destroy Kangha. Before Rian let them disappear from the school, the president suggested taking action in the Healing Forest event, beating Kangha to fear, or making him disappear forever. The class president on the side overheard everything, waiting for the group of students on scholarship to leave. He went to the principal's office to report. Actually, the class president was the principal's son. She doesn't want her son care other people's affairs. The thing the class president needs to pay attention to when studying here is how to make friends with the tycoon's children. They will be of great help to you in the future. The class president understands what she mean. However, he had a question. How did the principal cover up Kangha's brother's accident without any information being able to leak out? The principal pretended not to understand what his son said and dismissed the class monitor back in the classroom. At this time, Kangha went to see the homeroom teacher, asking to check Rian's locker because it contained drugs inside. But the homeroom teacher did not agree and opened the locker. Opening students' personal lockers is illegal. Kangha immediately exposed the homeroom teacher, who was trying to cover up for the rich children. The homeroom teacher advised Kangha to know his position. The more he wanted to protest, to know my position. I can do it, but I don't want to bow down and be a dog for rich people. The homeroom teacher was extremely angry when she heard this. If the homeroom teacher couldn't help, Kangha would expose the face of Jushin school to the press. The homeroom teacher had to accept his request. The two went to Rian's personal locker. Rian's friend heard the news and came over, but was stopped by his girlfriend in the middle of the way. He had to go with his girlfriend. On the other side, the director opened Rian's personal cabinet, took out a package of white pills. Kangha wanted to have the ingredients tested, but the homeroom teacher confirmed that this is a medicine to treat depression, used by students at Jushin school to treat depression under the pressure of studying. She gave it to Kangha. If you like, go and check it yourself. Kangha knows that the homeroom teacher has a reason for being so confident. There's no need to check anymore. The homeroom teacher turned around and left first. Kangha's heart was extremely uncomfortable. In the evening, Jae goes to meet Hira. Ask her to find a hacker, can investigate the person who sent anonymous messages on Instagram. Hira wants to know the reason. Jae is not afraid to tell the truth. Someone is keeping the video, filmed on Woojin's birthday 1 year ago. All the debauchery of the tycoon's children may have been fully recorded, and that day was also the day Kangha's brother had an accident. Don't know which video the mysterious person is referring to. Later, Hira went home and thought Hira also did something shocking on Woojin's birthday. If that hot scene was also filmed, there would be a big problem. Hira quickly contacted someone to find a hacker to investigate. A few days after the Healing Forest event took place, students often came by school bus. Rich students took private cars, and classy people like Rian and Woojin had to take a plane to the place where people are allotted to participate in activities. But there was still a clear hierarchy. Golf was for tycoons. A little lower there was a bath and sauna, and the group of students who received the scholarship climbed the mountain. A group of rich students bet with each other. Kangha will be dealt with tonight. 2 girls think that Kangha can pass. 2 boys bet that Kangha will be eliminated from the beginning. The class president on the other side leads Kangha to the campsite, showed him the last room of the row. This is where Kangha will live. The monitor reminded Kangha to be careful. With the group of students on scholarship, he happily thanked the monitor. But the monitor didn't want Kangha to be close. Let's treat him as an invisible person, because the monitor was also bullied before and didn't want any more trouble. Kangha nodded understandingly. The monitor turned and left. At this time, Jae and Hira is in her own room. Hira tells Jae that she has found a hacker. Hira wants to see the message. message. The mysterious person threatened Jae, but she did not agree. Jae wanted to ask for the hacker's number, to give information to the hacker to investigate. Hee-ra felt suspicious, surly. Jae was hiding something. Suddenly Woo-jin knocked on the door, wanting to invite the two girls to gather, a group of tycoon friends to the rooftop garden, but no one was willing to talk, making the atmosphere a bit tense. Jae asked permission to go first. Rian held her back. Why are you so upset? Jae directly admitted. Now every time she sees Rian's arrogant face, she can't stand it. Woo-jin also stood up and chased Jae, leaving only back to Hee-ra and Rian. Hee-ra looked puzzled, not knowing that Rian had considered her proposal and found another girl, making Jae jealous and coming back. Rian thought Jae would not be easy to change her mind. But what if that person is me? Hee-ra wants to date Rian. Betrayed by her best friend, Jae will definitely not be able to stand it. Hee-ra advises Rian to think quickly, because Jae is showing signs of liking Kan-ha. Rian extremely confused. On the other side, the homeroom teacher asked Kan-ha to buy medicine. The purpose was for him to avoid the rich kids. The homeroom teacher didn't want any trouble because she also had to teach to make money. Kan-ha didn't need to listen to the explanation. He knew there were only cowardly adults and crazy kids here. The director could only angry watch Kan-ha leave, going out. Kan-ha almost crashed into Jae. Coincidentally, she also wanted to buy cigarettes. Actively sat in Kan-ha's car, unknowingly seen by Rian and Hee-ra. Hee-ra let out a few more sarcastic words, making Rian extremely angry, watching the two leave. On the way, breathing in the fresh coastal air, Jae felt healed and her mood also became better. But it suddenly started raining heavily, causing both of them to get soaked, so they had to find shelter. This way they probably wouldn't be able to return to the campsite until evening. Jae thought that was good. Suddenly, a puppy ran up, splashing rainwater on Jae, making her suddenly burst out laughing. For the first time, Kan-ha saw Jae smiling so brightly, compliment her so beautiful. Kan-ha wondered about a girl with good conditions like Jae. Don't have to think about anything. Why not smile often? Because Jae is rich, but not happy. She was taught to control her emotions. Smiling in public will be judged, and crying will turn into a weakling. Jae also has something to ask Kan-ha. Why does someone who is often bullied like him still have so much positive energy? Kan-ha simply didn't want to be easily defeated by someone. He has to fight for himself and add a portion of the lost brother. Jae thinks that the rain cannot stop. Waiting here is not the good way. She wanted to wear the rain back to the campsite. Kan-ha hurriedly chased after her, put on a shirt for Jae to keep out the cold. The two of them walked back through the rain. When they arrived at the campsite, the weather had just stopped. Jae wanted to help Kan-ha dry his shirt, thanking him for today. Kan-ha agreed and went with Jae. Another group of scholarship students was waiting for Kan-ha to teach him a warning lesson. But after waiting for a long time, he did not return. At night, the president was extremely angry, forcing everyone to look for Kan-ha. In the evening, the teachers gathered to chat about the group of students from rich families. Perhaps it is very difficult to manage them, especially the homeroom teachers class, which gathers the 4 highest-ranked students at Jushin's school. But they are not the homeroom's concern. There are some others that are even more difficult to manage. Suddenly, Woo-jin came over, saying that the principal wanted to meet the homeroom teacher. She immediately followed Woo-jin. The other teachers were confused. Why was the principal looking for the homeroom teacher so late? Turns out, it was just a trick. Woo-jin used the excuse of meeting the homeroom teacher, then invited the homeroom director to do shady things. The homeroom teacher followed Woo-jin, accidentally saw Kan-ha enter Jae's room. In room, Jae helped Kan-ha dry his clothes, turned on the TV to watch while waiting. Kang-ha was tired and tried to borrow Jae's shoulder to fall asleep. She immediately avoided, advised Kang-ha went to bed to sleep, but Kang-ha appeared alert, leaned on her shoulder again. But this time Jae did not avoid it. She admitted that she had feelings for Kang-ha. When the two kissed at the party, Jae wanted to try again to confirm. Kang-ha immediately opened his eyes and looked straight into Jae's eyes. The two came closer to each other. Jae realized that the bracelet on Kang-ha's hand belonged to friend once helped her. Another side homeroom leader followed Woo-jin to his room, wondering about the relationship between Jae and Kan-ha. Woo-jin thought the two were not very close. After all, Kan-ha is a new transfer student, still a low class, couldn't get acquainted with Jae, so why did those two people lead each other into the room? The homeroom teacher surprised Woo-jin. Woo-jin immediately informed Rian, making him impatient, called the principal to come to Jae's room. Everyone caught Jae and Kan-ha about to kiss. The principal immediately pulled Kan-ha up but did not dare to touch Jae. Everyone did not know what to say in this situation. The next day, Jae asked the investigator to find out Kan-ha's true identity, knowing he coming to school for another purpose. Jae wanted to find Kan-ha to ask clearly. At this time, Kanha came to class. His friends thought Kanha was from the underworld, for after last night he must surely go to hell. This made Kanha remember his brother even more. His hatred pushed to the peak. Later, Kanha was summoned to the disciplinary council. The school principal proposed to expel him because she thought that Kanha tainted the school's reputation. The homeroom teacher wanted Kanha to explain something to follow the rules, but he knew that no one would believe him, no matter what he said. The principal still shows Jushin as the fair school, will not let students suffer injustice. Kanha felt extremely disgusted. Suddenly Jae appeared, explained to the jury that it was because she invited Kanha to the room. He did not break in on his own, and neither of them had gone beyond the limit. After speaking, Jae pulled Kanha up, leaving. The principal didn't have time to stop. Outside, Jae met Rian again. He had decided to date Hira. Jae also announced that from now on, she would be by Kanha's side. No matter who touched him, will also be Jae's enemy. Rian reminded Jae, at Jushin school, he is still the boss, but Jae is not afraid to directly pull Kanha away, to a place where no one is left. Jae then wondered to Kanha, what was his real purpose in coming to Jushin school? Perhaps Jae already knew everything. Kanha had no intention of continuing to hide it. Kanha went to Jushin school, taking Jae's top position, because when he was in that position, he would enjoy many benefits, tuition, and a chance to study abroad, which in the past, no scholarship student has been able to do it. That position is always in the hands of the tycoon's children. Kangha wants to try to change history. Jae almost believes him, because according to the investigation documents about Kangha, he has no brothers in the family. The suspicion that Kangha came here to take revenge for the student who died a year ago is completely unfounded. On the other side, after witnessing Jae protecting Kangha, Rian was extremely angry in his heart, have to go to boxing to relieve himself, but kept remembering the moment Jae held Kangha's hand and walked in front of him. Rian became angry again, determined to make Kangha pay. The next day, Rian received a text message from Hira. Now the two are pretending to date, following Hira's plan, so she wanted Rian to listen to her. Pick me up for school today. Rian coldly agreed, making Hira extremely happy. She prepared to be beautiful, then went down to wait for Rian. On the other side, Jae also came to pick up Kanha. He was going to ride a bicycle to school. Jae gave both him and bicycles a ride in her car. Kanha was extremely excited on the car. It was the first time he saw someone attach a bicycle to a car. Jae had questions at that moment. Where did the bracelet on Kanha's hand come from? This is a friendship bracelet with band member Son Yul, who was in the band with Kanha performing at Jae's house party last time. Everyone in the band had bracelets like that. Finally, Jae cleared up her doubts about Kanha. Later, Kanha and Jae went to school. Saw them going to school together. Friends were talking about it. Kanha proactively held Jae's hand and entered, accidentally meeting the principal. She looked surprised. Jae continued to assert her sovereignty. What's wrong with you? Causing the principal to avoid a side, homeroom teacher went to talk to the principal. The first time I saw Jae holding the hand of a boy who was not Rian in school. What tricks did Kanha pull? The principal vented her anger on the homeroom teacher. This is what teachers have to worry about. The homeroom teacher immediately apologized and withdrew. Then she went to the special English class, only for 4 tycoon students. But today, Kanha is also present. Jae has arranged tuition so that Kanha can join her in a special class. The other 3 people are nervous. Rian still requests the homeroom teacher started the lecture. At the end of the class, Jae led Kanha out of the classroom. Hira was upset and said to Rian, you should do something. Rian showed don't care. Hira clung to him and acted like a babe. Rian immediately reminded that they were just pretending to date. It's best not to go over the limit. Hira had to let Rian leave. Now the students in the school began to look at Kanha with different eyes. Even though he only relied on Jae, there was still a difference between rich and poor. Suddenly the president ran to find Kanha, wanting to take him to a private room to talk. This guy directly knelt down and apologized to Kanha, explained that everything was forced by circumstances. If he did not make things difficult for Kanha, he would also be dealt with by Rian's group. Kang Ha wondered, Jae was not worth the leader's fear. Actually, president's father works in the Jae family group, and the scholarship the leader is receiving is also sponsored by the group. The leader wants Kanha to fight or do anything. Just please don't say bad things about him in front of Jae. Kanha saw the cowardly face of the leader, didn't care about him, just advised the leader one sentence, be a human, don't be a dog. Kanha turned around and left. The leader was scolded, so he was angry, but he couldn't resist. On the other side, the homeroom teacher secretly met Woo Jin. She wondered if Rian and Jae had broken up, or were they just angry and trying to anger each other. Woo Jin confirmed Jae's breakup, but Rian still hadn't agreed. So what is Jae and Kanha's relationship? Woo Jin thinks it's a fleeting relationship. Very soon that relationship will end. Woo Jin kisses the teacher to encourage her. Everything will be fine soon. What if someone sees? The teacher liked it, but still seemed shy. At this time, Kanha went to the locker room and discovered a note that someone had left in the closet, reminding him to be careful with Rian. If he didn't want to be like his late brother, Kanha realized that someone knew his true identity. At that moment, Rian appeared and stole a piece of paper. Kanha wanted to reclaim his things. Rian directly threw it out of his hand. Other students came in. Kanha decided to ignore Rian. After changing, Rian went to the rugby field. Accidentally met Jae here. She also came to watch competed, but pretended not to care about Rian. Jae went to the highest place in the stands, saw Kanha texting, make an appointment with the one to put a piece of paper in the cabinet to meet and talk. The monitor received orders to follow Kanha, still silently observing him. Suddenly a group of friends came over, asking how Kanha had seduced the goddess. He didn't know how to explain properly. In front of the enthusiastic cheers of the fans, Rian's team played hard. He actually wanted to show Jae he is an invincible person. Jae said she didn't care about Rian, but her eyes were always on him. In the end, Rian's team won. He went directly to where Hira was cheering and took the initiative to kiss her. Letting Jae saw it, she didn't show any surprise. Only Hira was extremely happy and directly kissed Rian again. After Rian's grand celebration, the students all knew he was going public new person. Hira was praised by her friends. From now on, he will be the new queen of Jushin school. Suddenly, a male student driving a motorbike appeared in front of Hira. He was the one who secretly loved Hira. He couldn't accept the shock just now. The boy asked Hira to get into the motor. Let's go somewhere else to talk. Hira agreed to go with the male student. Later the two went to the park. The male student asked Hira why deceived him. Hira looked puzzled. What did I deceive you about? Actually, Hira had previously bet with her friends that she could lure a male student into bed. For her it was just a one-night stand, but she met the right lovesick boy. The male student has been pursuing Hira until now. She didn't respond, but he still doesn't understand. What is the reason you don't like me? Hira said she has liked someone for a long time, and this person was richer and more handsome than him. The male student couldn't say anything more, so he had to let Hira leave. She was also picked up by a bodyguard to take her home. At this time, Kanha arrived at the meeting place with the person who sent the note warning. It turned out to be his best friend. Kanha invited his best friend to the cafe to talk. The monitor was still following Kanha. At the cafe, his best friend apologized to Kanha. He had his own hardships, so he didn't dare to talk to Kanha at school. Kanha doesn't blame his best friend. He wants to find out about his brother's accident. It was a car crash and the police did not investigate anything. His best friend only knows about coming here, but he thought it was Rian's setup, so he reminded Kanha to be careful. Now that Kanha has support in Jae, he can safely investigate his brother's case. He also wants to expose the dark secret in Jushin's school, but Kanha can't do it alone. He wants to ask his best friend for help. His best friend is a bit scared but still agrees. He needs to approach Rian to help Kanha get the password of personal locker. Kanha suspected Rian of hiding drugs inside. This would be the perfect denunciation evidence. Kanha's plan with his best friend was overheard by the monitor, not knowing if the monitor was an enemy or a friend. In the evening, Rian returned to the villa, discovered Jae's car parked in front of the gate. Rian got out of the car, invited Jae into the house to talk. Jae wondered why he dragged Hira into this. She wanted Rian leaving her best friend alone. Rian repeated Jae's words. I didn't want to explain anything. Suddenly Hira called. Rian asked Hira to come to the villa, then told Jae to let Hira explain to him. Hira happily came to Rian's villa, even showing off with her best friend. Tonight will be a fiery night, but she meets Jae at the gate and quickly explains that it's not what she thought. Jae doesn't think anything and just advises Hira not to fall too deeply into Rian's game. Hira still ignored it. After Jae left, Hira went into the villa to find Rian. She was greeted by the servant. Rian was waiting in the room. Hira arrogantly walked up and turned around to look back as a queen. On the other side, after returning home, Jae received a text message from a mysterious person. He had collected all the scandalous videos and was about to hand them over to Jae's father. She felt extremely worried, asked what the mysterious person's purpose was. Only the viewed status appeared. Suddenly someone knocked on the door. Her younger brother said her father wanted to see Jae. She immediately went to the room to find her father. Here was President Yoon announced that Jae's marriage had been arranged with the eldest son of Gang Song Group, who was preparing to return from studying abroad in the US. Jae was not ready. Her father revealed the truth. Since Jae was still in her mother's womb, her father arranged this marriage for her to serve his interests. I understand, but father interrupted Jae, asked her to just listen to the words, solve the bad rumors outside. To become the perfect daughter-in-law, Jae had to accept. The next day Jae went to school, and as soon as she walked out the gate, she saw Kanha stood waiting. Last time Jae came to pick up Kanha. Today he wanted to do the opposite. Jae climbed on Kanha's old bike, re-experiencing the healing feeling at the last camping trip. Kanha rode her bike to take Jae to a roadside restaurant. She had to eat breakfast before going to school. Kanha was excited, and immediately Jae poured a bucket of cold water on him. From now on, you don't like me anymore. She doesn't want Kang-ha to be hurt. Jae deceived Kang-ha that she did not have feelings for him, but Kang-ha read Jae's eyes. She was feeling worried and scared. Kang-ha transmitted positive energy to Jae, but she didn't want to accept it and leave. Kang-ha turned his head to look and could only sigh. Perhaps that girl had suffered too much. In the evening, Jae invited Hira to a cafe, asking about the progress of the investigation of the mysterious person. Hackers cannot verify account holders, could only find the IP of the person sending the message. Jae wanted to proceed quickly. Hira pretended to cry and apologized to Jae, saying that due to forced circumstances, she was afraid Rian would do something terrible. Happened after breaking up with Jae, so she agreed to be Rian's temporary lover. Jae did not accept. Anyone was fine but not Hira. She is Jae's best friend. Moreover, it's not Rian's style. He's just taking advantage of Hira. Don't get caught up in Rian's games anymore. After reminding Jae stood up to leave, Hira looked uncomfortable. If it wasn't style, then I gradually changed. Another side, Kang-ha went with the band to the school prom party. This is a party only for rich families. Students on scholarships are not allowed to participate. Kang-ha can still come by becoming a musician, and can also make money. Inside, Kang-ha meets Jae. Today you are so beautiful. Kang-ha always says sweet words, always has a smile on his lips, but Jae always feels that behind that smile, there is some secret. Kang-ha confirmed that there was none. Jae left in disbelief. The main character of the party appeared. The owner of the Jushin Tycoon Group, Rian, and his mother were warmly welcomed. The party officially started. Rian's mother went to the podium to invite wine. Wish everyone a happy evening. Kang-ha focused on playing the piano. The tycoon's children also each had a job. The party would be an opportunity to help them expand their relationship. Then Hira's father came to his daughter and led her out to talk. He knew Hira and Jae were close friends and wanted to ask his daughter to connect with President Yoon to call for investment in an important project. Just as Jae passed by, Hira called her to convey his father's message, but Jae directly refused. Hira quickly followed Jae into the bathroom. Why did you ignore me? Jae frankly refused Hira, then went out first, leaving Hira in a difficult mood. Outside, Rian went to start talking to Jae, complimented her so beautiful. Jae had heard this a lot, so she didn't care, but Hira stood aside thinking, although she and Rian were on a date, but Hira will never win his love. Looking at Rian and Jae's family talking, Hira's father is not on the same level to stand on the side. Her heart becomes even more resentful. Kang-ha struck the piano hard, pushing anger to a climax. Hira decided to do something. She pulled Kang-ha in front of President Yoon, introducing him as Jae's boyfriend, is a scholarship student, making everyone around extremely surprised. Kang-ha didn't know what to say. Jae froze in place, facing a cold look from her father. Kang-ha stood up to take responsibility, but was immediately reminded by Jae's father that there was no place for him to speak. The party ended after a series of dramas. In the morning, Rian, on the way home, remembered the time he caused Kang-ha brother's accident. He showed no mercy. After committing the crime, Rian put the car with broken windows in the garage so that no one could discover the clues. Returning to reality, Rian did not repent at all. Unexpectedly, his mother called to ask if he was home yet. As soon as the party ended, Rian's mother booked the earliest flight abroad. She told her son to take good care of himself and listen to what the butler arranged to become a worthy heir of the Jushin group. But Rian did not like that kind of life. As soon as he got home, he was immediately urged by her housekeeper to go to school. The class schedule spread from morning to night. Rian was extremely resentful. I'm just human. The butler is like a programmed machine. I am doing what the landlady tells me so that you become the most perfect person. Rian angrily went to his room. Later, he went to Woo Jin's house to beg for one meal. Rian's lifelong dream was to eat the rice his mother cooked for once, but he had to let Woo Jin's mother do it for him. Woo Jin's parents let the two of them stay to confide. Only then did Rian confide in Woo Jin. He feels that he and Jae are inherently a couple. He cannot live without Jae. This makes Woo Jin a bit scared, advising Rian not to do anything rash. Rian is just worried about Jae. Don't know how she will be after last night. Jae's side is being taught by her father. You must know your own position. Don't foolishly change everything for a few lowly people. The younger brother also took the opportunity to tease Jae, but father immediately interrupted him with a warning. I'm also talking about you. Shut up and listen. Her younger brother quickly left in fear. Jae began to explain to her father that she only pitied Kang-ha and became his support at school. Her father reminded Jae of the price of pity. The boy's life wasn't it enough before. Jae was worried and immediately apologized to her father, promising to stay away from Kang-ha. Her father allowed Jae to return to her room. Outside, her younger brother was waiting for Jae, blamed for her, so he was scolded by father. Jae reminded younger brother to be careful with his mouth. Trouble comes from the mouth. Younger brother reminded Jae of the contract they signed. Don't forget what he has in his hand. Jae immediately lowered her ego. In the evening, the best friend took Kang-ha to the dressing room. He already had the password to Rian's personal locker. After his best friend successfully unlocked it, Kang-ha discovered that there was a photo of Jae in the locker, but it was not having to take a a photo with Rian, but with Kanha's brother. Didn't expect Jae to smile so brightly before. Maybe the time she was with Kanha's brother was the happiest time, without having to worry about being the eldest daughter of a tycoon. The next day, the students went to school normally. Just seeing Rian stepping out of the car, Hee-ra immediately rushed to him. The other female students saw Hee-ra's intention to confront Jae. She chose Rian as a shield. Kanha came to Jae and asked about the previous night. Jae was fine. She also wanted to apologize to Kanha for her father's insulting actions. Kanha did not pay any attention. Jae reminded Kanha to stay away from gossip and left. Kanha asked if she still had feelings for Rian. Jae was extremely angry and said that there were things he shouldn't know too much. Kanha smiled again. Whether his guess was right or wrong, Kanha wants to officially date Jae, helps her forget Rian. I want to see your happy smile. The words remind Jae of Kanha's brother. Both are similar in a way strange, but Jae is afraid of the tragedy happening again. She doesn't want Kanha to enter her world. We are too different. Kanha should just live in his happy world, and Jae will stay in her world, left her world until she had enough strength. After speaking, Jae turned around and left, leaving Kanha deep in thought. On the other hand, Woo Jin and the homeroom teacher entered the room together again. As soon as they finished, Woo Jin received the phone call. He quickly left. The homeroom teacher got jealous. Do you not love me at all? A fuckboy like Woo Jin doesn't even know what love is. He gave the homeroom teacher a Hermes bag. Then, no matter how jealous she was, the homeroom teacher happily took the designer bag to show it around the school. Unfortunately, she bumped into Jae, and she forced Jae to apologize. Today, the homeroom teacher was really bold, even dared to lecture Jae in front of everyone. But a branded bag cannot cover up poverty. Jae's words immediately made the homeroom teacher pale. Jae left with disdain. At this time, the principal returned to the office. Just as her son walked out, the principal asked the monitor what he was doing here. He had forgotten something, but looking at his expression was very unusual. The principal knew the monitor was hiding something. He hurriedly said that there was a lesson, asked mother for permission to leave first. Then the monitor came to the library, taught Kanha best friend to do his homework. The monitor asked about the relationship between his and Kanha. He still intended to hide it, was immediately exposed by the monitor. I saw two people at the cafe. Kanha's best friend was forced to confess everything. The monitor promised to keep it a secret for him. At this time, Kanha received an anonymous text message containing a video of Kanha's brother being bullying. He was extremely angry when he saw it. Suddenly Hee-ra appeared and wanted Kanha to thank her for helping him meet Jae's father. You must knew it was difficult for others to talk to President Yoon, but Kanha knows that Hee-ra wants to make Jae feel awkward. Hee-ra tells Kanha the truth. Maybe he also heard about the male student who had an accident a year ago. Who do you think is the culprit? Kanha confirmed it was Rian, but Hee-ra denied it. Rian was the heir to the Jushin group. It was normal to be angry and accidentally stab someone. The one who was really at fault was Jae, because she pitying that male student, allowing him to interfere in the life of a group of tycoon friends, which caused the male student to receive a tragic end. Hee-ra reminded Kanha, your situation is no different from that male student, so know early that it will be difficult to retreat. After saying that Hee-ra left, Kanha's heart was miserable. Just as Hee-ra said, Jae was the biggest cause of his brother's death. At this time everyone was in class. Suddenly, Jae received a text message. The mysterious person knew she was going abroad, not giving Jae more time to think. This guy sent a video attached the message line. Haha was very long. Jae quickly ran out in worry. Kanha and Rian chased after her. Hee-ra wanted to keep Rian but couldn't. Unexpectedly, there were two people posting the text message, including Woo Jin, and the teacher saw Jae walking past. The teacher with a sinister smile. Kanha chased after, but was held back by Rian. He told Kanha that the reason Jae was so worried was because of the president. Yoon knows that Kanha and Jae's relationship is like a time bomb. It can destroy Jae's feelings at any time. The best way is for Kanha to leave Jae. Don't think rich people don't have to endure pressure. You don't know what we have had to endure. Rian's eyes turned cold. Kanha also looked straight at him without blinking. Then two male students ran over. They will replace Rian to deal with Kanha. Did you guys do the same to the male student a year ago? The other three immediately froze. Kanha forced a smile, forgetting that Jushin's school forbids students from talking about that. Rian approached and asked Kanha who he was. To answer that question, Rian went to Woo Jin, asked him to investigate Kanha. Normally scholarship students are very afraid of Rian. Only Kanha was not afraid. Something even more terrifying helped him overcome fear. Woo Jin promised to help Rian investigate in detail. On the other side, Hee-ra made an appointment to meet Jae, help her with the last thing as a friend. The hacker has found the location of the mysterious person who sent the message, which is from Jushin school. From now on, Hee-ra and Jae will end their friendship. Just because of a man, Hee-ra admits to Jae that she has liked Rian since kindergarten, but Rian had feelings for Jae. She decided to give him up. Hee-ra openly fought for Rian. Jae immediately asked to withdraw. Jae only blames Hee-ra was too blind. Knowing that Rian was taking advantage of her, she still tried to rush in. If the two of them were still friends, Jae would definitely beat Hee-ra to wake her up. But now she doesn't have that right anymore. Jae left Hee-ra behind. On the way back, Hee-ra remembered the memories of when she was a child, then grew up with Jae, suddenly shed tears, not knowing whether the choice to leave her friend for a boy was right or wrong. On the other side, Jae returned home. Her father had arranged an appointment with President Park and the eldest child, who would also be Jae's future husband. She did not want to disobey her father's words, so she could only nod in agreement, making President Yoon extremely satisfied. Then he took his daughter to a blind date. The groom's family was extremely pleased with Jae, because Jae is a beautiful and calm girl. President Yoon also feels that the other person is suitable for his daughter, a person with great working ability. Both sides talk happily. Only Jae feels uncomfortable. She hid in the bathroom. When going out, this man starts talking. I didn't see you say anything. He wanted to invite Jae to go for a walk and talk, but Jae received a text message from a mysterious person. Immediately tried to hide first. The mysterious person sent Jae a photo of a pregnancy test with 2 lines, making Jae extremely stunned. Just when this man came to ask about her, Jae immediately vomited on him. The matter of wedding, perhaps this is where it ends. On the other side, Woo Jin asked the homeroom teacher to get Kangha's file, then bring it to Rian. Absolutely nothing unusual, but Rian still feels confused. Woo Jin reassure him, a scholarship student like Kangha won't be able to cause any trouble. Rian still feels worried. The next day, Rian came to class and discovered Jae was absent from school. He couldn't concentrate on his studies. Kangha was more proactive. When he didn't see Jae come to class, he went to her house to look for her, but couldn't get into the villa, so he could only wait outside. But for several days, Jae still hadn't appeared. So Rian angrily came to find Kangha, thinking he knew what happened to Jae. Kangha didn't want to answer. Maybe he didn't know either. Rian turned around and left. Only Hee-ra is smart. Asking family members about things is clear. She asked someone to arrange an appointment with Jae's younger brother, and quickly found out useful information. Then Hee-ra brought the story to Woo Jin. After the blind date a few days ago, Jae was confined to the resort, waiting for the day to go to New York. President Yoon wants his daughter to disappear. Hee-ra warns Woo Jin not to tell this story to Rian. Hee-ra has a plan. Woo Jin curiously asked Hee-ra what she wanted to do. She sat directly on Woo Jin. Am I pretty today? Woo Jin closed his eyes and waited, but Hee-ra just kissed his cheek. This proved yes. Hee-ra quickly left. Woo Jin could only laugh helplessly. Then Hee-ra went to Rian's villa, sprayed fragrant perfume, and walked inside. Rian was worriedly calling, and Jae did not pick up. Hee-ra came to report the news to Rian. Jae is about to go to New York. Rian and Jae's love story has ended. Hee-ra wants to ask Rian to give her a chance, but Rian wants to go to the resort villa to find Jae. It turns out Rian has discovered that Kangha and the male student he murdered were brothers. At this time, Kangha received a message from Hee-ra, directing him to where Jae was being detained. Kangha followed the directions to the resort villa. Indeed, Jae is here. She chased Kangha back, but he deliberately followed inside. Kangha wanted to know what happened, to see if there was a way to get Jae out of here. She still chased. Kangha returns. You can't help. Kangha is still stubborn. Then I'll be here so you won't be lonely. Jae can't keep calm, confessing that she's being threatened. Kangha wonders about the reason. She said, because I had killed one person. Jae emotionally said that person's name. Kangha also admitted to Jae the person she just mentioned was his brother. The two looked at each other, not knowing what to say. Jae remembered the time met Kangha's brother, because Kangha's brother accidentally threw the ball and soiled Rian's shirt. Although Rian just threw the shirt back and left, Kangha's brother was still being taught by his classmates. He ran away in fear and was chased by a group of friends. Kangha's brother had to escape to the library. He accidentally caught Jae and her younger brother arguing, and her younger brother used it. Hot photo threatens Jae, forcing her to hand over the inherited assets. Otherwise he will tell father about Jae sleeping with a strange guy. His younger brother despises Jae and her biological mother, that the corporation must be in his and stepmother's hands. Jae was both angry and worried. If dad really knew about that, her wouldn't be at peace. After Jae's younger brother left, Kangha's older brother dared to appear. He gave her the candy, comforted Jae, and then sat in a corner silently observing. Seeing Jae burst into tears because of watching the movie, Kangha's brother realized that she was not a cold and emotionless person like the rumors about Jushin's school queen. Gradually, Kangha's brother gathered courage to be by Jae. She also happily considered Kangha's brother a good friend. Unfortunately, their story was discovered by Rian. He considered Kangha's brother a thorn in his eyes, so he murdered this guy. Returned in reality, Kangha knew the truth from Jae. She blamed Kangha for approaching her from the beginning, for having a purpose. Kangha did not deny that he initially suspected that anyone in the school could be the murderer, include Jae. The more he learned about Kangha, the more he believed that Jae did not do it. Kangha's feelings for Jae were also sincere, but he still had a promise to his late brother, must expose the truth about his death. Kangha asked Jae for help. Tell me all the truth. Jae tried to avoid it. Kangha held her back. Then suddenly Rian appeared. Give Kangha a fight. Now Rian also knows everything. You want to avenge your brother. Keeps targeting me. Leave Jae alone. If you don't want to be like your brother. Kangha angrily fought back against Rian. Both sides rushed into battle. During the battle, Kangha fell into a weak position and could only defend, reminding Jae of Kangha's brother. He was also tortured to death by Rian. Jae was scared and shouted to stop. Rian, through Kangha, went out, then ran to hug Jae. Kangha could only stand and watch. The next day, Kangha was called to the principal because couldn't do anything to him. The school arranged for Kangha to receive a full scholarship at another school, but Kangha did not accept it. Graduating first class at Jushin would be noticed by prestigious universities. Moreover, he also had a full scholarship here. The principal was extremely angry. Kangha will ruin Jushin school. Every time see him, the students will remember the late Kangha brother. The principal threatened to expel him, but Kangha was not afraid but challenged her. There was no reason for the school to expel someone with top achievements like him because he was a poor boy. The school principal asked the teacher to expel the teacher on the grounds that Kangha threatened the teacher. Kangha was extremely pleased. Whether or not he threatened, the recording will be evidence. Inside there are also words degrading the student's honor from the principal. She forced to let go of Kangha. On the other side, Rian discussed with Woo Jin how to handle Kangha. Now Jae will have nothing to do with Kangha anymore. Just do it the way 1 year ago. Then Rian can be with Jae. Woo Jin is worried about Hera. Aren't the two of them dating? Rian knows Woo Jin has feelings for Hera, wanting Woo Jin to take care of Hera for him. On the other side, Jae was brought home by her dating objects. Soon, both of them will go to America together. But he has already been invaded to arbitrarily touch Jae. She patiently got out of the car. Rian was waiting in front of the gate, leading Jae to the lake to talk. Rian reminded Jae to be careful with Kangha from now on. Jae said that the person she needs to be careful with is Rian. You are a tyrant, but the devil will sacrifice the whole world to protect you. Jae doesn't need anyone to protect because soon she will go to America. Forget everything here. Rian will to not let that happen. Jae reminded Rian that they had broken up. No matter where they were, the two of them no longer had a chance. But Rian affirmed that he would only love Jae. He will do everything to get Jae back, even if it means going to hell. Jae advises Rian not to be blind. This love story will not have a good outcome for them and the people around them. After finishing speaking, Jae left Rian behind and left, but he had made up his mind and would not change. Later, Jae returned home and saw Hera happily laughing with her younger brother. She even pretended to be close to Jae, causing her younger brother to be sarcastic. Hera sent an invitation to Jae to go to a farewell party. As an old friend, she should also organize one for Jae's small party. Jae extremely disdainfully said that this was a celebration party, which was not too much. Hera directly admitted that this was a celebration party to send Jae off on her journey, giving her a chance to be with Rian. Hera confessed her love to Rian, hoping Jae wouldn't do anything to hinder her while waiting for the results. Jae blessed them both. Maybe she wouldn't be able to go to the party because it coincided with the flight time. Before farewell, Jae wanted to hug Hera one last time, thank you and apologize to you. Hera was extremely awkward. Last time she also shed tears. Maybe they both really see each other as good friends. In the morning the bullies came to find Kangha's best friend. Knowing that he was hiding identity, the bullies were extremely angry. Kangha's best friend has a reputation for being the son of a tycoon, but his mother is prostitute. His biological father only welcomed his son back, forced his to attend Jushin school. He came from such a background and was also Kangha's middle school friend. How could the bullies let him go? Luckily, Kangha appeared to rescue his best friend, then fought with the bullies. Kangha couldn't fight them, but no one in the class cared. The teacher who passed by saw him and ignored them. The monitor, unable to hold back anymore, he quickly pulled Kangha's best friend and ran ahead. Kangha also took the opportunity to escape outside. Kangha apologized to his best friend for putting him in danger. Kangha promised not to let this happen again. His best friend angrily said how Kangha would change the hidden rules of Jushin school. His best friend advised Kangha to stop and transfer to another school. His best friend wanted to study at Jushin school in peace and follow his biological father's wishes. If Kangha still decided to take revenge, he would not dare to help any further. In the evening, the monitor hid in room and took out his personal laptop. Unexpectedly, during the pastime, he had collected a lot of data containing dark secrets of Jushin school, drug trafficking, and the official teacher having sex with students, bullying classmates, including Jae's sex scene video. It turns out the class president is the mysterious person. He gives Jae a warning. She has to stay until the plan ends, making Jae extremely confused. She accidentally bumped bumped into the monitor, he apologized, but Jae was not in the mood to care. After walking a little further, Jae met Kang-ha again. She led Kang-ha to a private room. We'll tell him all the truth about his brother's accident. On the day Woo-jin celebrated his birthday 1 year ago, Kang-ha's older brother was also present. Because he was bullied by his classmates, he ran into the street and was hit by a car. Jae admits that she is guilty of herself. If she hadn't been friends with Kang-ha's brother, he won't be hated by his classmates. Kang-ha thinks it's all Rian's orders, but Jae is protective of Rian. Unexpectedly, she still has feelings for Rian. Jae told Kang-ha a secret. There was someone threatening Jae at school. She went to America, and everything would end, but she was afraid that Rian would stay and suffer all the hurt. Jae wanted to ask Kang-ha to find the mysterious person. Kang-ha also wanted to meet and shake hands with that person, because they both had the same goal. Jae used his tears to evoke sympathy. Didn't he promise to protect her? If so, Kang-ha should help Jae protect Rian. Although she knows she's selfish, but Jae can't trust anyone but Kang-ha. You're so cruel, Jae. How can Kang-ha help the enemy? He sadly left. Outside the school gate, Woo-jin came to pick up Hira. The homeroom teacher was also there waiting for Woo-jin. Saw him with another girl. She immediately called Woo-jin, but he immediately hung up, making Hira feel suspicious. Are you dating someone? Woo-jin quickly denied it. A girl's intuition is never wrong. But I like Hira. She thought Woo-jin was joking, but this was the truth. Woo-jin still had to force a smile to hide. It's true, I was just joking. He didn't feel happy at all. Woo-jin took Hira to the house. There were several black cars in front of the gate. Hira ran inside to check and found that the furniture was all sealed. Dad still left. The last gift was the dress he bought for Hira to go to the party tonight. Hira looked for her mother to ask what happened. She just hugged Hira and cried and apologized to her daughter. Our family has gone bankrupt. At this time, a group of students on scholarship came to find Kang-ha. They are invited to Jae's farewell party, thinking that there was a conspiracy in this matter. Perhaps the rich people wanted to use them as entertainment. Kang-ha advised everyone to go to the party. They must fight bravely to avoid being trampled on by the children of rich families. Suddenly, the principal appeared. This is a special classroom. Students on scholarship are not allowed here. She angrily kicked them all out. They immediately did not dare to stay. Kang-ha looked at the principal with contemptuous eyes. Surely the school was ruined due to people like her. On the other side of the family broke up with Jae, sent her off to the airport to go to America. The younger brother came to tease Jae for losing everything, and he also wished his sister not to come back. Jae was angry but still had to hold back and leave. The night the farewell party took place, it was actually the party where Hira was crowned queen after Jae left. Hira came to Rian's side, a perfect stepping stone. However, today Hira dressed very simply, but Woo-jin was still felt she very beautiful. He told Hira that today he would make the most important decision of his life. Hira did not paying attention, but only concerned about why Rian hasn't come yet. Suddenly Kang-ha appears. The suit makes him different from usual. Hira feels that this is the appearance of a tycoon's son, but in reality he is still poor guy. Kang-ha happily joined everyone. The monitor calmly still liked to hide in a corner and observe. Suddenly he received a text message from Kang-ha. Where did you get those videos? Kang-ha knew the class president is a mysterious person. Walking to his side, Kang-ha advised the monitor not to panic. The reason Kang-ha discovered this secret was because he found the monitor's keychain when visiting his brother's grave. Kang-ha was also revealed by his close friend about the monitor's strange actions. The monitor admitted his identity is mysterious person. He wondered what Kang-ha wanted to know. Kang-ha needed all the videos the class president was holding to expose the dark side of Jushin school. At this time, the classmates received messages on their phones. Jae's date object has just been taken away at the airport for drug use. It was all Rian's plan to bring Jae back. Just as a luxury car entered the party, Rian and Jae stepped down, holding hands to assert sovereignty. Now we will go back. This was also the answer for Hira, making her extremely disappointed. Rian looked at Kang-ha, advising him to also don't continue to dream about Jae. This is a declaration of war. Kang-ha is not afraid at all. At the end of the party, Hira chased after Rian. Why did you treat me like that? Hira was still angry with Jae. At this moment, Jae ruined a good thing for her. Rian and Jae advised. Hira calmed down, asked Woo-jin to take Hira home. She declared that she would take revenge for today's disgrace. Rian don't care, let Jae go ahead. Hira could not calm down and was immediately held by Woo-jin. After that, he also brought Hira back. Misfortunes continuously befell Hira. The villa was confiscated. Now she can only temporarily live in an apartment. Living in a cramped room for the first time made Hira felt uncomfortable. On the other side, the homeroom teacher was betrayed by Woo-jin, so she decided to take revenge on him. The homeroom teacher took the car that caused the accident and kept it in the garage, then drove somewhere. At this time, Rian took Jae back to the villa and prepared a simple meal for her. Jae sat down and talked to Rian, wanted him to apologize to Kang-ha, even though he didn't know who caused Kang-ha's brother accident. But Rian and Jae also also had a part of responsibility. They created the hierarchy in Jushin school that led to Kangha's brother and the poor student were being bullied. The two of them had just reconciled and were tense again. Rian had never had to apologize before. It wasn't as difficult as you thought, but Rian was determined not to do it. Jae also felt helpless. In the morning his mother came to find Woo Jin, announcing that his father was about to run for president and would have support from Jae's family. Woo Jin wondered why it wasn't Jushin Group. His mother got proof that Jae went to the maternity hospital. Jae's family was forced to help run the election, otherwise this matter would be exposed. At school, Jae accidentally met Kangha again, but just as the class president came to find Kangha, took him away, the homeroom teacher approached Jae and teased her about her taste in scholarship students. But it didn't end well. Jae said it's better than an old buffalo that likes to graze on young grass. The homeroom teacher was very angry but couldn't do anything. Jae also ignored her and left. In the hallway, Jae discovered Kangha walking with a group of students. Scholarship. He gathered weak people who were bullied to fight back against the rich kids. But in school there was an unwritten rule. Poor students had to be trampled on. They received funding from the rich, so they had to thank for that. So do you guys like to be dogs or humans? If we have to live like that cowardly, our honor will be trampled on. If this society loses its honor, it will not be able to continue to exist. Kangha admits that he is taking advantage of everyone to avenge his brother, but he also wants to build a fair school so that students can develop freely. Everyone agreed to try with Kangha once. Then Kangha and the monitor discussed the plan. The monitor told Kangha that every action must be careful because all students are the school watched. The videos that the monitor had were stolen from the computer in the principal's office. The monitor proposed to attack the highest level in the school, is the top generation of tycoons. Rian and Jae were the first goal. Post the relationship video of those two people online to solve the problem. But Kangha doesn't agree. The monitor knows that he has feelings for Jae. If we are soft-hearted, we will lose. All scholarship students will be implicated. Kangha must choose love or ideals. On the other hand, Jae comes to meet Woo Jin. He's upset because he couldn't call Hira. Woo Jin blames Jae. Her decision affects everyone. If Jae doesn't break up with Rian and choose to be with Kangha, Hira did not find a chance with Rian. Woo Jin was not in a difficult situation, choosing to side with Hira or Rian. The four people had a happy time. But 1 year ago, because Jae came to Kangha's brother, the relationship is getting worse and worse. Jae knows her mistake and apologizes. She will try to save her relationship with everyone before leaving. Jae also reminded Woo Jin, please make the right choice. Between Hira and the homeroom teacher, this makes him extremely worried. He calls, but Hira doesn't answer the phone. She was on way to an appointment with a lovesick boy. Agrees give him a chance. The amorous male student is extremely excited. Just at the same time, Jae's younger brother is also present. He is a bit disappointed because he can't send his sister off to America, but Jae's younger brother still keeps a terrible secret. Wanted to show Hira. After watching, Hira went outside, slapped Jae's younger brother in the face, cursed him for being an immoral younger brother, with daring to secretly film his sister's hot scenes, and even sent it to his sister's rival. Hira is a bad girl, but a bad girl with morals. She didn't do anything like releasing this clip. Jae's younger brother could only get angry and curse the sky. Hira left angrily. Unexpectedly, she shed tears again when she learned that Jae was treated so miserably by her younger brother. At this time, Jae went to look for Kangha, saw him kindly helping the old woman, and happily playing with water guns with the group Childish. Jae appeared in front of Kangha. There was something he wanted to tell him. The two of them went to the park to sit on the swings. Jae wanted to know why Kangha always had positive energy, even though he wasn't rich and was often treated poorly by his classmates. Kangha don't know the reason. He just feels that if he lives a happy and useful life, he will bring joy to many people around him. Jae feels jealous of Kangha. He encourages Jae, really there is always positive energy around you. Close your eyes and feel it. Even if you have to endure a lot of pain and suffering tomorrow, the sky will be blue again. Later, Kangha saw off Jae back. He told Jae that he had found the person who sent the threatening message. Jae wanted to know what that person's purpose was. Their purpose was the same. They all wanted to give justice to the arrested students bullying, causing the person who incited violence in the school to receive punishment. Kangha has found the bow. Now he just needs to stretch the bowstring to destroy the hierarchical system in Jushin's school, returning everyone to a peaceful life. He hoped Jae will not be hurt, but Jae won't protect someone. If you want to hit Rian, Kangha's arrow must first pass through Jae. In the end, the two still have to confront. In the evening, the homeroom teacher arranged to meet Woo Jin, bring him the car that caused the accident. The two went to the bar to talk. Woo Jin knew the the homeroom teacher was jealous. She also admitted that she had feelings for him, not a normal sexual relationship. Woo Jin reminded her not to forget her identity. She knows she not worthy of Woo Jin. The person worthy of you is Hee-ra. Those words made Woo Jin angry. Advised the homeroom teacher not to speculate nonsense. This attitude confirmed that she was right. She was carrying the keys to the car that caused the accident. Angrily, leave. Woo Jin wants her to leave the key, but she did not agree because this was a life-saving treasure. Woo Jin reminded her that as long as she was next to him, she would be safe. She didn't believe it. Woo Jin announced to stop. She would be confirmed. It soon. She was angry and left, leaving Woo Jin upset. At this time, Jae-yi and her father went into the mountains to hunt. President Yoon instructed his daughter how to accurately identify the prey. Don't hesitate to attack. Sympathy will rob you of your chance. But Jae-yi can't shoot. She can't bear to kill the lovely rabbit. From now on, Jae-yi also doesn't want to went hunting. Her father thought that Jae-yi did not listen. She directly argued that from now on, Jae-yi wanted to live her own life. But President Yoon did not agree. As long as blood still flowed in her veins, Jae-yi still had to performing her duty as a daughter, because her father is the one who gave her life. President Yoon pointed the gun at Jae-yi to warn, then aimed to shoot in another direction. Jae-yi aimed at him but did not dare to pull the trigger. She angrily left the hunting ground. On the other side, Rian was studying English, suddenly receiving a text message containing a sensitive video of him with Jae-yi. Rian was angry and immediately gathered all the human resources, had to quickly find the person who sent the message, and at the same time, not let anyone know about it. Everyone immediately deployed the order. In the morning, Jae-yi saw the news. Hee-ra's family went bankrupt. Everyone in class was also talking about it. Jae-yi went to class to look for Hee-ra, but she didn't go to school. Suddenly, Rian appeared and pulled Jae-yi out. He told Jae-yi that someone was secretly filming their hot scene. Rian promised to take care of everything smoothly so that Jae-yi wouldn't be hurt. He hugs Jae-yi to comfort her. On the other side, Kang-ha goes to see the principal, giving her one last chance to rectify Jushin's school. The principal still appears indifferent. Kang-ha claims to have evidence in hand. If the principal did not comply with the request, he would blow up the entire Jushin school. The principal still smirked disdainfully, went outside the monitor, grabbed Kang-ha because he acted without warning. Why did he threaten the principal? Kang-ha told the monitor that the masterminds who caused everything were the teachers who tolerated the students' evil actions. The monitor thought that it was because Kang-ha wanted to protect Jae-yi that he didn't follow the plan. The monitor was angry because he knew Kang-ha was taking advantage of him. Suddenly, Jae-yi appeared. Actually, the mysterious person was the monitor. He was extremely worried. Kang-ha took Jae-yi out to talk. It seemed like you had already started the plan. Kang-ha directly admitted it. Jae-yi advised him to stop. She would solve the problem herself. Admitting everything and publicly apologizing to everyone, Jae-yi knew what consequences she would face, but she still wanted to protect Rian. Kang-ha wanted to know why Jae-yi was stubborn, because for her Rian is life. He is the same to me. Kang-ha was extremely miserable. He still decided to follow his ideals, although everyone involved will be hurt. Kang-ha wants the next generation of Jushin school to have a bright future. He leaves Jae-yi behind to leave. Jae-yi wants to reveal one more secret to Kang-ha. I was pregnant with Rian. Jae-yi went to America many times to have an abortion, but couldn't bear it. In the end, because of the pressure, she had a miscarriage. Kang-ha wondered if Rian knew about this. Jae-yi shook her head. She tried trying to find a way to avoid Rian, even break up with him, hoping to overcome the obsession of losing her child. But Kang-ha shows up to investigate his brother's accident, which inadvertently evokes Jae-yi's past, causing her to fall into misery again. Kang-ha knew he was sorry for Jae-yi, suddenly shed tears. Jae-yi also declared to Kang-ha that she would listen to his teachings, do what she like. Jae-yi wants is to protect Rian. She will block the violent wave Kang-ha created, making him extremely miserable. On the other hand, Woo Jin finds Hee-ra's residence and advises her back to school. Hee-ra has decided to quit school because now she doesn't deserve to go to Jushin school. Woo Jin wants to help Hee-ra, but what status does he use? So be my person. Woo Jin wants to be with Hee-ra to take revenge on the people she hates. He will act as the prince to silently assist Hee-ra. However, Hee-ra still decides to write an application to leave school. Jae-yi criticizes Hee-ra for being someone who only knows how to hide. Hee-ra asked Jae-yi to take care of herself. She was extremely angry. Why did you only suffer alone? Jae-yi did not understand what Hee-ra said. She angry got up and left. Then Hee-ra came to find Rian and cursed him for being an idiot. Hee-ra told the story of the leaked clip. Rian also knew about that, but he couldn't guess who filmed it. That villa belonged to Jae-yi's family. Guess how many people were able to get in and out? After listening to Hee-ra's suggestion, Rian knew who was secretly filming. He led his troops to the locker room, chased all the students out, just kept Jae-yi's younger brother there. Rian directly beat Jae-yi's younger brother, so he couldn't breathe. The students standing outside didn't dare to stop him. Kang-ha appeared and rushed in to force Rian to stop. Jae-yi's younger brother asked Kang-ha to put his dirty hands away and ran away. Rian vented his anger at Kang-ha. Why do you like to take care of other people's affairs? Kang-ha reminded Rian, if he hit Jae-yi's younger brother, who suffered the anger from Chairman Yoon. Besides Jae, who else would come in here? Kanha angrily cursed at Rian. He didn't know what Jae had to go through. In addition to using a fist to solve the problem, the head is only for hair growth. Kanha cursed Rian to wake up. He wondered what Kanha wanted to say, but Kanha promised Jae to keep it a secret. He made his wish to the enemy. Please protect Jae well. Although they are on opposite sides, they both care for one person. In the evening, Hira returns home. In the past, when she used to go by car, now has to take the bus. Students crowded seats. Hira had to wait for the next bus. When she returned home, unexpectedly Jae was here. Hira thought Jae was coming to laugh at her, but Jae wanted to restore their friendship. She had never considered Hira an enemy before. Suddenly, Hira received a call from her father. The company has been sponsored by Jae's family group. Now it can revive. Hira can only thank Jae, but to get Chairman Yoon's approval, Jae had to make a trade-off. She agreed to go to America and follow all of her father's arrangements. Jae happily said goodbye to Hira, making her feel disappointed. Later, Jae returned home, saw Rian waiting at the door, and immediately went down car and go with him. The two went to the lake to confide. Rian knew everything, cried and asked why Hira hid him. Why does she have to suffer alone? Jae didn't want Rian was hurt too. Rian hugged Jae and apologized, promising not to leave her alone from now on. Jae was moved to tears. On the other side, the monitor sat and remembered the time he was bullied. Only Kanha's older brother came to comfort him, so that his departure wouldn't be meaningless. The monitor decided to take revenge, posting a video of Rian and Jae's hot scenes online. Suddenly, Kanha appeared to rob his phone. This is not a legitimate way of revenge. Just the number of videos the monitor holds can change the situation at Jushin school, without necessarily harming others. But the monitor affirms that that is not enough to make the tycoons pay the price. There must be a sensational news that knocks out their roots. Have you forgotten the purpose of going to school? Kanha immediately froze. On the other side, Rian came to find Woo Jin in tears, continuously falling. Rian knew that Jae had to go abroad, feeling extremely sad. Woo Jin hugged Rian to comfort him. Actually, Woo Jin was the one who convinced President Yoon to let Jae go to America. Otherwise, Jae's pregnancy will be made public. On Woo Jin's birthday, 1 year ago, the homeroom teacher wanted to give Woo Jin a gift. Unfortunately, they were seen by Kang Ha's brother. The homeroom teacher quickly ran to explain, but Kang Ha's brother refused to stop. Woo Jin discovered that the bullies were also looking for Kang Ha's brother, so he stopped them to help the homeroom teacher. She jogged and couldn't get a car to chase Kang Ha's brother. He was scared and called Kang Ha, but Kang Ha never answered the phone. The homeroom teacher chased Kang Ha's brother to an alley. Unfortunately, she bumped into him. Kang Ha's brother flew into an iron bar and died. Only now did Kang Ha pick up the phone, but after calling for a while, but no one responded, the homeroom teacher carefully went to check, discovered a pen with a hidden camera in Kang Ha's brother's pocket. Perhaps the scene just now was also recorded, so she made a decision. Cruel is not taking Kang Ha's brother to the hospital, but driving away first. At this time, Kang Ha went to the police station to report. The next day, the whole Jushin school was investigated for violence and drug possession, but no one was willing to tell the truth. Only Jae dared to bravely admit everything, knowing that Kang Ha was the one who caused this. The homeroom teacher found him to blame him. He was destroying the whole school. Kang Ha was forced to do it to bring the person who killed his brother to light, to eliminate evil at Jushin school. The teacher was still fearless. Kang Ha asked permission to enter the classroom. His classmates were all bitter at him for daring to denounce them. The male student even tried to hit Kang Ha, but did not dare to use violence again. Everyone criticizing Kang Ha as just a scholarship student, but daring to oppose the school. Our students receiving scholarships, so we have to be bullied. The group of scholarship students all sided with Kang Ha, making the rich people angry. It was impossible not to use violence today. Just when Jae appeared to stop the male thug from taking action, she stood on Kang Ha's side. There was nothing wrong with what he did. Jae advised everyone to declare truthfully. Because they are students, they will be lenient by the law. Everyone looked at Jae with puzzled eyes. Later, Rian took Jae out to talk. He hoped Jae doesn't go to America, but this is something Jae can't decide. Rian hugs Jae and apologizes for leaving her alone. Jae accidentally discovered the class monitor. She said goodbye to Rian and chased after. At the same time, Rian also received a message that the person who sent the video in the school was the principal. He wanted to go find the principal to settle the matter. On the other side, Jae caught up with the monitor, but he didn't want to talk. Jae asked the reason why the monitor caused these things. He hates the rich kids who always consider themselves the best, trample on the honor and dignity of poor students. But why did you only target me? Jae's guess is that the monitor wants to protect the principal. He did not publicize anything related to Rian, because he was afraid of Rian's revenge. The monitor did not dare to answer. On the other side, Rian came to find the principal, and asked her where she got the video from. The principal pretended not to understand and was exposed by Rian. The principal had to admit that the monitoring of Rian was assigned by the president. Rian returned home to look for his mother. He did not blame his mother for watching. But why did you send me that video? The principal didn't want the relationship between men and women to affect Rian's inheritance, so send a video warning to her son. But before being the heir to Jushin Group, Rian was also a human. He doesn't want to continue being controlled. Is it because you did the same that my father left? Rian was slapped by his mother. Rian announced that he would give up. It would be difficult to disown his mother. He will give up his position as the heir to the Jushin Group to do as he pleases. Mother called Rian back. He is the only son. If Rian gives up, who will take that position? He had to patiently listen to his mother's arrangements. At this time, Jae came to find Kanha. There was something he needed to tell him. Jae apologized for what happened, and also apologized for realizing the mistake late. If Jae had stood up and admitted his mistakes sooner, to stop the rich kids from committing crimes, Kanha's brother would not have disappeared from the world. But maybe from now on, life would be better. Kanha would also be sorry for putting Jae in an awkward situation. Jae announced that she was going to America, wanted to say goodbye to Kanha. She wished Kanha to stay and achieve what he wanted. Jae stood up and left. Kanha had the last question. Did you ever like me? Jae immediately denied. Kanha still stubbornly thought she was lying, watching Jae leave before his eyes. After returning home, Jae filled in the ultrasound image of the lost child, then texted to meet Rian. She also had to let Rian see their unborn child. Rian cried in pain. Jae let the photo float in the river. Rian could only say sorry for not being able to protect their child. The next day, Jae took Rian to his brother Kanha's grave. Let him say sorry to the deceased before going to America. Jae wanted to work with Rian to correct the mistakes they made. Rian accepted all of Jae's requests, just asking her to stay. But he must know that it is impossible. Jae encouraged Rian. We are only 18. We still have a very long way to go. We will definitely meet again in the future. We also hope not to step on the same mistakes of youth. Rian was moved to tears. Jae smiled and cheered him up. On the other side, the principal called the homeroom teacher to her office. She had a video of the homeroom teacher playing around with students. What is teacher ethics? Woojin's family wants to keep this a secret and also wants the homeroom teacher to disappear forever. The principal asked her to write her own resignation letter and give her a small compensation. She was extremely upset and thought that it was Woojin who revealed this. The principal said that if it weren't for Woojin's begging, now the homeroom teacher is in jail because of having sex with a minor. And there's also the hit and run incident. Everyone will keep quiet. She also needs to know disappear silent. She has to be patient. Now the four tycoons have the opportunity to sit together again. But Jae is about to leave. Hee-ra plans to travel somewhere, but Woojin is not focused. Are you okay? Woojin really feels uncomfortable. He stood up to leave. Hee-ra chased after him. Woojin admitted that he was the reason Jae had to leave, because he thought it was Hee-ra's wish. Woojin also tells Hee-ra all the truth about Jae's pregnancy. Hee-ra was extremely angry because Woojin caused the group that had just reunited to be divided, but it was clear that it was Hee-ra's wish. The two started arguing. Woojin wanted to apologize to Rian and Jae. Hee-ra was afraid that those two people would ignore Woojin, wanted to help him find another solution. Oddly, their conversation was seen by the homeroom teacher. She got angry, and Woojin drove the car towards him. She walked down to say goodbye to Woojin. He hoped the secret would be buried forever, but she was determined not to let it go easily. She drove away. Hee-ra wondered to Woojin, what did this woman want to do? Woojin went back to his room to think, and then came to Jae in the middle of the night. He made a choice. The person I like is Hee-ra. But Jae knew Woojin didn't come just for this. He even secretly wanted to tell Jae that was the real culprit who caused the accident of Kanha's brother. Woojin found a pen in the car that caused the accident, recently discovered that it was a camera, clearly stating that the perpetrator's face is the homeroom teacher. He handed it over to Jae, letting her decide the fate of the homeroom teacher. Having received the pen from Jae, Kanha brought it to the police station to report. The police immediately reinvestigated the accident to return justice to Kanha's brother. A purge of Jushin school took place again. Many people were arrested and taken to the police station. The homeroom teacher, who was planning to run away, was also taken away by the police. Kanha planned to rush to question her. Luckily, the police stopped him. The principal held a board meeting. The principal took responsibility, but she couldn't bear this responsibility. The president directly dismisses the principal. Then the principal chased the president to ask for a chance, but she did not fulfill her responsibilities. Anything that affected Rian was eliminated. The principal was no exception. She had to return to her office office to pack her things. The monitor was very happy that his mother was fired. From now on, their family will not have to bow to others. The monitor also admitted everything he did. The principal was no longer in the mood to blame her son. All the news about Jushin's school was posted online. The community was talking about it. Rion's mother forced the secretary to handle it so as not to affect the company's image. After knowing the story, President Yoon announced that he would abandon his daughter, would not provide monthly child support. When she was young, Jae was very afraid of this, but now it gives her a sense of freedom. Jae is only disappointed when she has the heartless father. In school, Rion came to see Kangha, wanting to apologize for what happened to Kangha's older brother. Although he didn't directly kill people, he left the bullies to beat Kangha's brother, causing his brother had to run into the street in the middle of the night, leading to an accident. Kangha did not accept the apology. It could not help his brother come back to life. He would not have the happy days with his brother again. Kangha wanting Rion to live in days of torment and suffering, taking responsibility for her sins. Kangha will never forgive Rion. After Kangha left, Rion went to the student jury. He admitted that he was the mastermind of everything. After this incident, everyone returned to normal life. Everyone still came to school with the hope that Jushin's school will get better and better under the guidance of the new principal. In the morning, Rion was getting ready to go to school. Jae stood at the gate waiting to invite Rion to skip school. The two of them went for a walk together to try street food, better than 5-star restaurant food. At the end of the outing, Jae has something to tell Rion. She suggested stopping temporarily to let the two find a new direction. Wait until both of them truly grow up and have a chance to get back together. Rion doesn't want to, but this time he doesn't stop Jae. Everything is left to fate. Jae also chooses to leave the tycoon family to find free for himself. Kangha promptly came to say goodbye to Jae. Kangha thought Jae would not have a chance to see her again when she went to America, but that was not her decision. Jae would walk on her own feet before going. Jae told Kangha one more thing. Last time I lied, I also had feelings for you. Kangha was sad, immediately became happy again. Thank you for coming. Jae moved to a new land where she could start to rebuild her life. This is also where Jae found her mother after many years of separation. Each person will have their own life when they know how to accept and let go of the past. Youth is short, but is a stepping stone to create a perfect person. So we need to choose a good school so that the children become useful people for society. Thank you for watching the entire movie. See you in the next clips.